Hey everyone, welcome back. We are hopping back into our Let's Play with Lemuria, and I believe it is turn 105. I think that's right. And we only have until turn 108, so between then and now, either Midguard or I is going to win. So we will leave that to you to speculate. But it means that we have some exciting turns here. So, a few things happen. We cast Flames from the Sky. I mentioned I was doing this last turn. We killed 83 units. Not bad. Mostly just kind of probably chaff and then some vampires, and not exactly sure what else. Our Wraithlord was killed by a horror. This guy was attacked by a lesser horror. Hunter of Heroes, we actually survived that. We'll watch that, because this is a Doom horror. And I believe he has the very interesting Consume Soul, which I think this kills Immortals, but it may not. But it can totally one-hit kill you, so it can definitely kill him too. But, there we go. Pops us out. Thank you very much. Bunch of battles here, so let's click on them and see which ones we want to watch. Okay, this actually is important. We kill a bunch of the Demon Locusts. He summoned them on top of Nashin, which is my throne. Now, he's probably thinking, I'm going to soften this up for whatever group he has patrolling and cause gym usage. So this is a magic phase attack, because it's a remote summon. And he's going to do this before I come in, and then presumably he's going to kill my army after the gyms are spent. Which is good if I'm going to be doing something like Wind of Death or something like that. Because I won't be able to restock all the gems. And like in this case, he actually kills my my Grand Lemur. So we should expect probably another fight on Nashin this turn. Yeah, and indeed there is one. So we'll watch that out of order, because it will give kind of more continuity for the story. Let's see what he attacks with. Holy Mother of Jesus. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. And on our side, just a few brave men. We've got this guy to buff up Etimmu. We have Etimmu, the Wraithlord himself. And then a small amount of distracting chaff in the front. On my opponent's side, we have pretty close to the full 300 or 500 Storm Demons designed to one-turn pop my fort. We have some maguses, however you say that. We have some Galdermen. So a decent mage backup. Not a ton, but a decent amount. With a Heliophagus. Does not look like he's given this guy much gems or anything. I think this is just going to be Firestorm. Like Fire Cloud casting and things like that. We have Garyon, which is one of the Demon Lords, and he's gotten a lot of death gems here. I don't know what these guys are, or what he is going to cast. We'll find out. And yeah. So these guys will probably enter up into a communion, and he is going to be dropping all sorts of fun astral fire and whatnot on my dudes. And we've got a lot of air mages, right? So this is a lot of Thunderstrike spam potential. And he's got some devils, and these are interesting because they've also got, they can do poison attacks, which if your dude is not necessarily geared up to be super poison resistant, mine is, they can kind of tick you there. So let's see, the risks of this are, this actually is kind of what I've been preparing for, though. So, the risks are that I don't get to finish my buffing script before something bad happens. That's the main one. So having these devils on attack rear immediately might actually be good in case I was just going to do super combatants, but you can see they're not. They're on hold and attack. And we've got just a phenomenal amount of firepower coming down. And you can see it just destroyed. They're not super accurate. They're all hitting within like a little range. But now you can see they're focusing here. So this guy's going to get murdered. Okay, that was Undead Mastery coming out. But my guy has really high MR. Undead Mastery does not scare me. Masked masked enslaved mind scares me a little. Okay, the devils have come in after the hold and attack is done, and they're all surrounding me, but they're getting picked off by their own storm demons. And they're not able to hurt me because I have really high protection, 27. And then the lightning, I am completely immune. If we look at my lightning, after, I've been blessed, so I've got the shock resistance, we are up at 40. I think I lost 5 from casting Iron Skin, but then I gained 5. And I've got Soul Vortex off. I'm not sure all the things I have off, but these Storm Demons are about to run in. Yeah, so they're running forward now. Some of them have flown in, but most of them seem to have decided they're going to walk. They want the exercise. And, oh, there was another Demon Lord here I didn't even see, Belphegor. Or no, Belial. And, normally you use this guy as a caster. He has a very small chance, based on MR, to corrupt people in combat with him. It's probably like 1 in 1,000 on this guy, but over the course of an entire combat it can add up. And you can see he's just getting point-blank nailed. But it's doing no damage. If we look at these guys, oddly he doesn't have Storm Up, which is totally something you would expect to see with a big Storm Demon army. And it would increase the chance of them penetrating, but really there's no way. Right now it's 16 lightning damage with Storm. It would be up to 19. But yeah, that's not going to be enough. And Etimmu, this is like the scene from Highlander, and he's like, "Give me all your power!" And they're just, like, energy's blasting into him, and then, yeah. Okay, we're gonna kick up the speed here, and let's take a look. We are taking tiny bits of damage. So we're at 45. We've gotten a lot of afflictions, because we have taken some damage, and because of that, we've also lost our Bloodthorn, which is a bit unfortunate. I think there's actually a weird bug with this that is going to happen after the battle, but we'll see. But his HP is holding steady. Yeah, it is right at his max HP. It would be nice if somehow he had some kind of regeneration so that he wouldn't have as high of an affliction chance. But yeah, this is Etimmu. This is him versus an entire late-game army. If we look at the back line, he still has some kind of communion set up. His Noras, the folks who were the communion batteries, are all dead. And it's just the Magus guys in front. And then these air guys are just spamming out crap, like Phantasmal Warriors and things like that. Now these guys should all be out of lightning very, very shortly. And we can see them run in. And Etimmu is just, he's chopping them up rather efficiently. Now he's got a horn, which is nice, from the gore, because he'd be down to only a hoof, because he lost an arm, if we didn't have that. So that's good. He has 2 attacks. The lightning is actually causing a fair amount of friendly fire. Just look at one of these devils here. Okay, I guess you can't. The stun doesn't add up. You can't be stunned for like 30 turns. Okay, and very shortly we should see the lightning kind of diminish, as all the storm demons have exhausted their supply, and now it is just Etimmu. He's actually higher than he was at the beginning of combat in terms of HP. Now, the way you fight this, and he has the tools with Nornas, is large Astral Communion spamming Enslaved Mind, which would kill him permanently, or Soul Slay, which is a slightly kind of cheaper version. But yeah, if he brought 20 of them, they would kill this. Because even with very high MR, eventually they will get him. You can see my shield has also broken now. But what's nice about that is we get our Baneblade back. Though our MR is a little lower. And we're going to speed this up, because I think we see what happens now. Okay, his army's retreating, and we just chop whoever left we can find. What's my attack? Okay. Attack and defense is so high, too. 26, 23. It looks like we might get Belial, too. Yeah, and this version we do. We'll see if we get him in the real battle, too. Okay. 4 cheers for Etimmu. That is a true super combatant right there, boys. Normally you're not able to kill late-game armies with the super combatant, especially if they have any mage support. The reasons that I was able to is it was pretty one-dimensional. It relied a lot on shock damage. And yeah, we were able to kill him. So we did kill Belial. We killed a fair amount of Galdermen. I'm not sure how that happened, actually. It may have been... Maybe he put Wrathful Skies up and they got kind of focused down. I think that's probably what happened. All the Volvas are dead. The Shamans are gone. We killed 67 of the Storm Demons and then 25 of the Devils, so not bad. Let's watch real quick again. I just want to see part of it and see what battlefield spells they got up. I think they got Wrathful Skies and Storm up, but we'll see. Okay, so the first one is Storm. Undead Mastery. Okay, Storm came down. It seems there was a... Oh, okay, I totally missed this. Okay, we're watching this again. Apparently somebody brought some high explosives into the back line, and I think I know what happened. I think someone said, hey, I've got a really good idea. Let's do Phoenix Pyre so that our communion slaves don't die when we do other stuff. Now the slaves are already getting kind of fatigued, but things like this Bloodlust, which they don't have any paths in, that's going to add a lot of fatigue. Okay, Undead Mastery is going to use a ton of fatigue, and I think this guy was relying on a communion. So let's take a look at their fatigue. Yeah, they're totally fatigued out, and it hit all their HP. So that did a ton of damage to the communion slaves since they have no death paths. Okay, somebody cast Damage Reversal, too. Okay, I missed it. At some point, somebody cast Phoenix Pyre. Okay, we're gonna watch that again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make you do this with me. Okay, so let's see if they have... Okay, they already have Phoenix Pyre on them, so it happened earlier. And this Undead Mastery, which actually did not do much, caused a ton of fatigue usage, and then they cast some other spell that just caused one of the slaves to die, and that caused a chain reaction that just blew up their entire back line. So that is kind of hilarious. That's... Phoenix Pyre can situationally be good in communions, but if you do it, you definitely don't want all your communion slaves clustered together. And you also want to make sure they have very high fire resistance. So, yeah. This is probably a mistake. We know how the rest of that goes. Okay, so then some stuff is happening. We get attacked in Lemuria? What? Demon Locusts in Lemuria. I think we have enough here to kill them, but maybe not. Yeah, we're doing Unholy Power and Unholy Word, and we're paralyzing them so they can't kill us. We may be able to get them. Yeah, I think we will. But that's fine. This actually is a kind of expensive spell, so that's not bad. Kill some of our patrolling dudes, mostly just dispossessed spirit trash. More Demon Locust attacks. This one was successful. That was in Timeless Waste. That was right here. Or Trackless Wastes. Oh no, we attacked them. I guess he had a commander here that could move them back, because I was thinking they would be stranded. And that would charge them to just attack and die, so that's a little unfortunate. He successfully raids into us in a... Where is this? This is a Gartha. And I already have this fort, so he's just on top of it. Utgard has a big army inside of Utgard, so my little raid on top of him did not take it. He had more than just PD. Coming down here. Not a ton of big battles so far, except for that one in Nashen, of course, which was really just kind of epic. That was such a cool battle. Down here we have Ryla, or we're attacking Ryla successfully. A bunch of little low-commitment raids. We have a fair amount... I raid into Midguard here, and I think we might watch this. This is just like a medium response to a... where he thinks probably I'll be raiding, but he has pretty good mage support. So, where is that, Dathan? We'll just watch it real quick. This is going to give you a flavor for the kind of like raiding trading that we're doing. In this case, it's basically a free spawn frontline with vampire thralls. These look like revenants. No, they're soulless. And then he's going to have various guys spamming probably wither bones and... Yeah, so there goes Witherbones and Leech. Leech is pretty effective here. And then I imagine some Thunderstrikes or something like that. I don't see any Thunderstrikes. What are the Galdermen doing? I don't really see them doing much. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of a very efficient way to deal with Lemurian Raiders. So that was Dathan. We already watched the battle in Nashen, which Etimmu went beast mode. And then coming down to Lemuria, we get attacked again. So let's watch this battle. This is a big battle, a high commitment attack. So he had hit this before with Demon Locust, which would have burned gem usage. And then he's attacking here with all these Storm Demons. This is kind of what happens. Now, you can see all the times he's missing, and just think if I had more ghosts around, then basically all of those things that were missing would be hitting something else. So this can just wipe out huge swaths of army. And I think this is about 100, maybe 120 these Storm Demons. And he could be doing one of two things. One is he could be trying to break my cap. And if he breaks my cap, then we're in trouble. So, okay, it's 180. So this is definitely something that will be able to break through my fort walls, even with some ghost defense, and I did not expect it. If he does this, then all the kills on my immortals, are not all, but a lot of them are permanent. Fortunately, I spawned them from a variety of locations, like a lot were from this throne and a lot were from here, but if he takes my cap and this throne, that's going to be most of my Lemuria summons, though I think I have some maybe from up here. And that would actually be a good way to kill me. Like, that would put me out of the game. So, continuing to go down, Father Ill-Earth kills a bunch of my stuff. Another group of our raiders get killed by Ryla. Okay, there's 2 battles in fortresses, so we'll just make sure we at least talk about them. We break through a fortress in Jira, and we break through a fortress in Gila, and I'll show you where both of those are. That's right here. So we did get to take that throne, which is important. And this we did take. So now I think we're going to make the move on Utgard's cap. I need to get this throne too. But we're basically going to be sending in all these guys, and we'll take a quick look at the script. We've got Rigor Mortis, Stygian Rains, Grip of Winter. Rigor Mortis and Grip of Winter go great together, and they really should you should try to cast them together as much as you can, when you can. I don't know what I'm thinking here, because I don't have high enough paths to cast it. I would need to give him like a water booster, and then have him do Power of the Spheres, probably. Or you may be able to cast it with... No, you need to be at least Water 3. So I'd have to do Power of the Spheres and then cast it with 3 Water Gems. So that's not going to go off. My scripting is so lazy. We have Power of the Spheres, Rigor Mortis, already talked about that. We have a bunch of Enslaved Mind coming out. I think we have Light of the Northern Star coming up, Anti-Magic. I'm double casting Anti-Magic and Rigor Mortis. Probably would be worth it to do Darkness here, because this is a big battle. But I don't do that. I think that's kind of the major one that I'm omitting, and then I probably should do Grip of Winter, even though it's not good against a lot of his stuff. We're bringing in a ton of dudes here with Wailing Winds and Rigor Mortis. And then we're sieging this up. We haven't broken through it yet, but I think we'll break through it next turn. We're bringing more people on to take this throne as well. And if I get this throne, and I claim this one, I think I've claimed this one already. Yeah. I need to go ahead and claim it. I think I'm bringing in somebody to claim it. Am I? No, I'm not that smart. So I need to go ahead and bring in somebody to claim it. Now, they're going to... Fortunately, my Grand Lemurs are stealthy, so they can sneak in underneath. We're just going to try to kind of get some chaff underneath here. Now, No, we're going to storm castle. So that's going to give us one more fort. He's probably going to move on top of here and try to break this. So I have to kind of come up with some response. And I don't really have very many super combatant-y chassis on this side of the map, so we'll have to see what I do. But hopefully... Okay, we're still not getting... I should be recruiting these guys, because I need desperately to forge more of this air resistance stuff. So, because I do not have enough, I'm letting Etimmu chill out. He's just going to research, and I've taken all the gear off him. And through the magic of laboratories, we have put it on one of our Kings of the Mountain. And so he is a Flesh Eater, so he won't rout. He has a Bloodthorn, and then he has this, basically a ton of shock resistance, and tons of protection. So the script we're giving him is Temper Flesh, Summon Earth Power, Resist Lightning, Weapons of Sharpness, and then Iron Will. And I had to kind of do this at the last minute because, as you can see, he has broken through my fort walls. And that's because Storm Demons actually do a large amount of siege damage. So let's actually take a look at it real quick. I think we can see it through this interface. So their siege strength is 2.9, so if you have 200 of them, you're going to be doing like 500 siege damage, which is a lot. So anyway, we'll knock them off here, and I desperately need to forge more. So I'm sure, okay, yeah, we've finally gotten to making more copper plates. So we're making 2 more copper plates. This guy's making a copper plate. And I probably also need another storm spool. I don't know if I'm making one right around here or not. Octavia, we've also kitted her up. I really like having my Incarnate Bless active, which is recuperation. But that's not up when she's dead. So she's kind of kitted up to stay alive. We've got the Amulet of Giants, the Ring of Returning, some armor, and then the main Gauche of Parrying, and the Coral Sword. So there's a good chance that she will survive if she's attacked by a horror, but not a great chance. And then in conjunction with her not casting anything, hopefully she only gets attacked by lesser horrors. And that will allow her to stay alive, and therefore, Etimmu to heal and stuff like that. I also need to... I need to think about this army potentially throne rushing down here too. But I think this is probably their first target. We are bringing this guy in. So having this Nature Mage in will be good. I have a lab here so I can give him the right stuff. But he can do mass regeneration and other things. But we're going to try to... Okay, I should have tried to storm this fort, because it's up this turn. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't, but I should. This fort we're going to go ahead and storm, and after that, I'm probably going to go after this throne, and I think that will seal the deal for me. In terms of raiding, we're kind of doing okay. Like, this was his before, now it's mine. This was his before, now it's mine. This was his before, now it's mine. And you can't really point to many places where he's out-raiding me. So the raiding war is kind of going fine. My income actually is looking as high as it's ever been. And we're kind of juggling around. Like, in this case, we're deciding to patrol, because maybe he won't expect that, and he'll, move into me. Here, we're moving back on top of this to help break this fort a little faster. I probably should do a raid here, but I'm not. These guys kind of got wrecked when I thought this would be open. So, this shows how efficiently you can kind of deal with Lemurian raiders. Like, this is such a low commitment defense. Like, 4 sacred, and they're just going to kill all of my ghosts. Yeah, and my guys were scripted, I think, to attack rear. Oh no, we're doing attack closest. Okay, so probably not. Maybe if I did attack rear, I could have potentially won that fight. So looking at it, what happened? He moved his big army, which was here, skipped these 2 provinces because they're flyers, moved to my capital, and if he takes my capital, we're in some trouble. So, and with this army, he definitely could. So what we're going to do, Belfagar also is casting Flames from the Sky. Again, we're going to cast it at his capital. No, we're casting it, I'm sorry, at Utgard's capital. It's not going to do much against these storm demons, but it will do a lot to reduce this chaff army and kill some of his mages. And we're going to do that before we have this high commitment attack. So this was very, very disruptive of communions. So if he has a communion where he's planning on trying to win, it's going to be... A lot of the spells he thinks are going to go off probably won't. And it will very likely be out of balance and have all the slaves die. So hopefully he's patrolling and then we'll attack. Yeah. Oh, let's look at this guy's script. I don't think I talked about it, but we're going to be doing Temper Flesh first, then Summon Earth Power, then Resist Lightning, then Weapons of Sharpness, and the Iron Will. And that's basically it, but that should be enough. I think that's about it for this turn. Basically, yeah, we're going to be taking these, preparing for a fight here. I need to get, like, a Grand Lemur or something to come in and act as a super combatant to try to kill these guys, because I think that's really my only tool, is kind of super combatant-y dudes. Now, there's other things he can do to counter super combatants, like spamming Life for a Life, which is really good. That probably might have won him this battle against Etimmu also. And as a Blood Nation, that's something that you could definitely bring. So anyway, we're kind of relying on a combination of Vengeful Waters and super combatants to keep him off. So, like, he can move this army in, but they're going to suffer some Ice Elemental attacks. And now that his attack is in kind of full swing, he does have a fair amount of dudes getting attacked by Ice Elementals, like a Commander. There goes a Van Jarl. This also... Oh no, it's not going to interfere with movement, because it happens after movement. So we kill some of the stuff, not too much. If he had won this battle and his big army was parked on top of here, we would have killed a lot of what was left, but he was not so successful. But we're going to continue raiding, like we're going to raid up this way. These guys are going to move in here and hopefully help us crack this fort. You can see our Dominion push is getting very, very strong in the area that was Abyssia. I do need to build a temple here, which you can see I'm doing. But then, yeah, we're going to have just so much Dominion pushing out. And Dominion is kind of one of those things, once you get enough forts and temples, it becomes very difficult, and you're big enough, it's very difficult for anyone else to stop it. So it is kind of going to just, you know, even if my armies are stopped, my Dominion is going to get where it's very difficult to stop. Let's just take a look at that graph real quick. Yeah, you can see it's just marching upwards. And I'm reaching like a critical point right now where it's going to just continue to spike. Because every time I take a fort and kill the temple inside that fort, I do two things. One is I remove the ability of the world at large to like push back my dominion, and I add strength to my own. And that's that critical point, and I'm getting really close to it in this game, where you can't stop it from easily coming back. I mean, from easily from pushing, and the only way you can really stop it is having lots of priests in border provinces to preach, and that's really inefficient, and you very rarely see that in large amounts. I think I'm also, moving in more chaff here to try to hold up the fort walls. I don't know if I'm going to do it with that many storm demons, but we'll see. And I think that's it for this turn. And maybe we'll stretch these final turns out into episodes each, because this was a kind of exciting turn with Etimmu, and with him jumping ahead a few provinces and trying to rush onto my throne. I mean, my capital. So, let's go ahead and call an end to this episode, and I'll see you next time.